Hello, are we on?
We're on, baby.
We're on. Hello, welcome to the Blood of the Wild season 2 finale Talkback. This is a talkback. You get to talk to us. I think we can all agree that there's no better energy than a talkback. Yeah, you've just watched a great movie, and then all the nerds that watched it with you get to stand up and ask questions.
This is more a comment than a question.
Yeah. They never ask a question just to tell you something about themselves. It's always just as a great, easy energy. Nobody ever frames a criticism in the form of a question.
I think that's happened before. We've had some holiday parties that I feel like people have asked questions that you, Jared, specifically have been like, all right, okay, I know what you're driving
They're
at.
all already driving me crazy. They're all like, I usually listen to this song at 1.5 speed, and I'm like, you fucking psychopaths. Like,
I've never even heard this song before.
Why does the podcast need to be faster? You've got to slow
There's
it
too much
down.
content to consume.
Oh my
every
God.
minute of every day, especially with the sheer amount of content.
There's a mental illness epidemic in this country. That's all I know. So this is the season 2 Talkback. We just finished. You guys just heard the end of season 2, book 2 of Quest for the Frozen Flame, Lost Mammoth Valley. I got it right here. Let's not forget that it's by the extremely talented Jessica Catalan.
Jessica Catalan.
Almost killed us multiple times.
Thank you for book 2. Oh, interesting. Paula, did you feel book 2 was dangerous? Did you feel
start of it? I will say I do think there's a difference between the
Cave?
beginning of book 2 and the end. I think Calamity Cave was quite dangerous and scary, and we thought we were going to die many times in Calamity Cave. And then I think once we left and started doing other things, I think it felt less threatening. But we also leveled up, so
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm always learning because this is my first time GMing Pathfinder to this level. So I'd be interested. I really would be interested in what the chat thinks. You know, in some ways, I feel like in a lot of these kind of games, as the players level up, it gets a little harder to kill them. So that might be why the first chapter was so deadly with that tree encounter. The demonic trees, the demon trees, baby. And you didn't even check off all the objectives there. A guy died because I think mostly of Joe's incompetence. So
that's what I've always blamed it on. Yeah.
So, you know, I felt like that book was a little harder because you guys were a little lower level, and then you know, but maybe people are like, he's insane. That's not how it scales. Whatever. I actually. Well, are we doing all our secrets here? Are we just throwing it all out there?
I mean, why not?
Come out.
There are no secrets anymore.
I want you to know that I worked on the final Ashen Swale and Venexus encounter about 3 times as much as I normally do to prep an encounter, really trying to figure out how to put all of you down. And it doesn't even show a little bit in the final product that I did that because you know. And
you really stunk.
I mean, it wasn't as deadly as I wanted it to be. It wasn't as deadly. I think I put Veshka down and that's it, right?
Yeah. You put your own character down.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yay, because then it's less of a lift for me, you know?
Right.
I'm going to start putting the lieutenants down right away just so I don't have to control them.
Yeah, that's fair.
But the irony of that...
You got unlucky, and we got really lucky.
Yeah, there were some lucky rolls there. I would say the irony of it was, and I thought this was wild because I don't think I've ever done this before, is we were into the Venexus encounter, everyone was hurting, and you guys started getting, like, sad. And do you remember this? And it kind of broke my heart, and I had to go, guys, you're doing great.
Here's the thing.
I remember that.
That was the last fight in like a gauntlet of combat. Like we had done nothing but combat for how many episodes was it? And so we got to that point, and I think it just like everything had kind of built up to it. And so it felt, I don't know, I had almost nothing left. And maybe everything just felt more serious, or like we'd been doing. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to anyone
Totally.
else?
You're just saying. Forgive me. It's a very Paula answer. You're kind of saying it was just very emotional. We'd been along a roller coaster.
Well, you're also
You're basically saying I was about to cry.
Oh, I did, which is not unusual for me.
Okay.
And it's not
I mean,
because I was like, oh no, the spell. Oh, I lost. Boo boo. I guess it didn't. Boo. I'm so sad. I'm a grown ass
Stakes are really
woman.
high.
I thought I had just killed my friends. I had been thinking very hard
Oh, right,
about do I
yes.
heal with my last 4th level spell slot or do I attack with my last 4th level spell slot? And when the thing I chose to do didn't work, I thought, great, I don't have that now to heal my friends. I should have chosen the other thing, and I've killed them. It will be my fault if someone goes down. And I really thought that was possible.
It was
here's a
dangerous.
question- Here's a
It felt
question on that.
dangerous, even though we crushed it.
Here's a question on that. Will you do it again?
Cry again?
No. Will you go in that moment of offense, kill the boss versus heal, keep up your ally? Will you change your decision next time, or do you think you'll still go offense first to try to put the boss down?
I don't know. Well, the thing is I don't feel like I chose offense first. I just had it, and I'm like, I have these really
Well,
cool
no,
fourth
you
level.
had that
yeah.
last spell slot, your most powerful
In
spell
that
slot.
instance,
You could heal, or you could go
yes.
offense. Do you think if you had it to do again, you'd do offense again?
I mean, the best defense is a good offense. So
That's what they
And also,
say.
it we can now say it all worked out. So
Right.
And
Yeah,
it's fun.
The
It's
faster
cool.
they go down.
Yeah, and as much as I enjoy being able to help keep people healed, it is also awesome to be able to be like, and I get to do this cool spell that does this wild thing, and you took 40 points of damage. I want to have those moments sometimes too.
Yeah.
So, but maybe
Yeah,
I just
and
need to let
think
go of that.
I think your exhaustion also comes from it's very different sitting in the caster seat. The caster seat is really brutal on a long consecutive string of combats. Like a fighter doesn't run out of anything, right?
You don't
Like
have,
yeah.
yeah.
you're
you don't
always
have
the
to-
same for every fight, and it feels kind of unfair in a way, but it's also like those spells are supposed to be really powerful, and that's supposed to balance it out. But yeah, you always feel like after 10 straight episodes of fighting, you're like, I got nothing left, and there's no time to rest. This sucks.
Yeah.
It can be really tough,
Yeah.
tough as a caster.
Yeah,
I'm
and I had
gonna-
like chosen all of these spells that were all fire spells and like holy spells because I was like, it's gonna be undead and an ice dragon, like
Mhm.
ice stuff and undead stuff. And then like, it was still like, it was hard. It was hard like managing which ones we have.
Mr. Bandana Head says,
Bandana
shout
Head!
out to Mary Lou, unsung legend of the glass cannon. What do you mean unsung?
she's not
I'll
unsung.
sing my legend.
All we do
That's
is
a
talk
weird-
about how amazing
that's a
Mary
weird
Lou is.
compliment. That's a weird compliment. That's like nobody knows how good you are.
No one talks about this, but she's actually really good. It's like
Mary Lou, I actually like you.
Oh, thank you.
yeah.
It took
No,
me a
Mr.
while to
Bandana
warm
Head,
up to Mary Lou,
Thank you.
but now that
I've
I'm
gotten
used to
that.
her, no.
Yeah.
I've gotten that.
Well, the finale is so top of mind. Obviously, the finale
Yeah.
episode is so top of mind, and I think that we can get there / get back there. But maybe a look back, maybe going back a little bit further to all those events leading up. You know, a year ago we had a holiday party and we covered a lot of this
Mhm.
book because this book is massive.
Yeah.
Massive.
I don't
And-
think book 3 will take as long. I don't think it will.
Interesting.
Interesting.
All
We'll
right,
see.
I'm calling your bluff on that. I plan to do a lot of role play. Have a
Yeah,
lot
well,
of
that's
really
fine, too.
slow scenes with my father and AWOL and stretch it out.
Yes, let's milk it, stretch it as long as we can go. I don't know if it was on air or not. I swear, we'll go back to the story in a minute. I don't know if it was on air or not, but Paula, we were like starting to record season 3, which we've already started recording, and like before that first episode, she was like, "Well, it's going to be the last season, so what's next?
What are we doing
What,
next?
what are we doing after this? And Jared was like, I just started preparing this year-long book. Can we please just do this? It was very funny. Already looking forward to what's next. All right, so let's talk about some favorite parts, at least, of this book. I guess post Calamity Cave. A lot of Calamity Cave was in 2024, and we talked about a decent amount of that last year. But from the time we got out of there, well, I guess we got out of there, and it was still a while because Olog's still around for a while after Calamity Cave, and yeah, so that turning point is, I guess, a little bit later than I expected, but.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking, I remember saying this at the end of one of our sessions, but I don't know if I ever did the math. I think we've had more episodes with Herod than Olag at this point. Or it's at least coming close, which feels
interesting.
Crazy, but it might be true.
Yeah. When exactly did that happen? When did that air, at least?
Good question.
no
Surely
sense of
someone in the chat knows.
It is episode 33 of the season. A Fire Goes Out.
33.
But Herod doesn't come in.
Listen to the story that the dice tell. All right, so
Two episodes
episode
after
34 is The General. Aired August 19th, 2024. So what's 92 minus 34? Skid.
58.
58 episodes, which means no. Olag still has it. Yeah.
But
Getting there. It is
By the end of the show. And by the end of the show, we'll be introduced to many, many more new characters as the characters we've grown to love die one by one.
No!
Yes.
Sometimes of old age.
Yep.
I actually plan in like
more
3
poison
episodes.
salads.
Nope.
In like 3 episodes, I think Yelka's just going to be bored and just like leave so that I can play someone new.
Really?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh. I thought you really liked Yelka.
I like Yelka.
No. Yelka has lots to do.
There should be more character turnover based on stuff like crises of conscience, or it's just like I can't take another life, and someone just leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense.
Hey, man, I feel like we've been way over our heads for a while, and I got to get out.
Yeah.
I made 600 gold on that last run.
Yeah, I think
One last job.
I'm going straight after this.
I met a girl I like.
Can
I got to go see about a girl.
You'll be back. You'll be back in the dungeon with me again in a year.
Yeah.
From old Mr. Budness there. Yo, it's a celebration of my favorite show on the Naish.
Oh,
Thanks, Budness.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Budness.
you. The Great Kaboon says, bring on the awakened Baba.
Naked Baba.
I will be playing Baba.
Yeah.
No, that's my
Awakened
plan.
Baba.
If Raga ever dies, I'm just gonna play Baba.
Oh, that's so smart.
I just
That's a
saw
good
how
idea.
mad Jared just got.
Jared was
No,
trying to
no,
decide how
I
to
don't.
respond.
Look, much has been made over my hatred of animal critter cuddly characters.
Yes.
But Baba getting awakened, that makes sense. But first we have to kill Raga.
Yeah, you can try.
Well, it
really
could
hard.
happen.
All right, let's see.
I'm trying to find when our last party was.
This year started with Sodden Swamp of the Soul Singer. January 6th of this year.
Okay, all right.
Sodden
Yeah.
Swamp.
Pretty far in.
The
yeah.
scouts lay their head to rest. I'm not sure what that means.
We had that.
neither
We
do
were
I.
carrying around that head. We
Oh,
found a
that's
head in the
right.
tower.
Oh,
We were
that's
carrying it
Soul
around.
Singer.
clever
How
description.
clever
Jared.
of me. Wow.
That was clever.
Past Jared is a clever young boy.
Clever.
Yes, that was a beautiful episode. You did all this really nice singing. I had
Yeah.
a really
Oh
cool
my God, the singing
vision.
was so
It was
good.
such a
Yeah.
cool episode.
And I
It
think
is.
it was I don't know if it was that episode or one a little bit later, Paula, where I was really impressed with your attention to the campaign when you brought up like who the head, like that we had that head. You were like, I wonder if this is so and so's husband or something, or brother. I can't remember. And Jared was like, in fact, it is. And I was like, whoa, that was from like so many episodes ago.
Yeah.
When we met her wife later, and I was like, this
right.
is yes. I should have. Why didn't I grab my notes from my?
You know,
go grab your notes.
if you want. What I'll say about that really quickly. What I'll say about that really quickly is like, it's a hex crawl, and there was a way you guys could have gone through it where you Well, do you want to know what you could have done? Does that bother you?
No,
Absolutely.
I love this. I love this stuff.
You guys never went and investigated the hex where you meet the headless rider who is that woman. A headless horseman.
Oh, cool.
I think sometimes called a Dullahan.
A Dullahan.
Oh, that's they killed fucking Pembroke in the main show.
An epic death on the Glass Cannon podcast.
There it is.
The hands of a Dullahan.
There is a Dullahan in book 2 that you guys skipped. You kind of just went around the hex, or you never really searched inside of it or something like that. So and then you wanted to throw the head on the pyre, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. And also, I mean, I don't know. You guys all like promised to help the people of Layuba when you did that, and I was like, that would put someone to rest, right? I don't know. Or maybe the ghost is still out there.
Wait, we could have run into her ghost?
Yeah, a headless horseman. A Dullahan.
A Dullahan encounter.
But I really love that about the hex crawl, that you can have a different experience going through it than someone else that plays the same
wildly
AP.
different.
Yeah.
Like in different order of everything. I mean, it's so interesting. I can't believe the season is 92 episodes. I am honestly shocked that we missed anything.
Yeah. Well, you were pretty thorough.
I thought we were very thorough.
We didn't do that hunt, the great hunt or whatever. We didn't do that.
We did. It wasn't by choice, right? We got like
that. No.
No,
That was
not chose.
Can I tell my memory of that, because it's very interesting?
Yes.
So in the book, it says you find this great hunt, and you can do all these different hunt activities with these guys, like even like skinning the meat and all of this cool stuff, and then you get like reputation points that you take into Layuba with you. I don't remember your reasoning, but you guys walked up and the guy was like, we're doing a hunting party. We have to chase the animals and hunt them. And you guys were like, no, we're busy. I can't do that right now.
I remember exactly why. Because we had in our heads that the burning mammoth were going to be at the tower any moment. And if we took time to do this, we were leaving our people in Mammoth Towers vulnerable. And so that we didn't have time, and we needed to get to the towers for this siege that was not part of the story. And we made you homebrew.
No, that we can talk about that in a little bit.
That's the biggest single thing I want to talk about.
Okay, but before we get to that, I just want to say, I feel like that you guys turning down the big hunt was a while. It took a while to get to the siege, so they were pretty far apart. But am I wrong about that?
No, because
I don't think so. I think Paula's memory is
down.
pretty good on this, and I remember, like, in retrospect, in hindsight, I remember, being like, okay, like there was no way, like we could have totally done the hunt, and the siege would have been the same time, whatever.
Yeah.
But in our head, we thought if we did the hunt, we'd come back to like a decimated following.
Yeah.
Like
it's really what
it was
like.
literally a life or death.
Well, I am
felt like a clock.
It's funny that it happened that way, or that you missed a thing that doesn't really matter. You can miss things. But I guess it's good that there was that sense of urgency in the game where you didn't feel like, who gives a shit what happens next? Yeah, sure, we'll do a hunt, whatever. Like, you guys had an objective in mind, and
it felt life or death,
suspense.
truly.
Yeah, that's good.
Waterslith says Jared is doing an excellent job GMing PF2, and that's coming from a huge Pathfinder nerd. So there you go,
nice
Jared. Look at that.
Compliment.
Plus little
Thank
donation.
you, Waterslith.
But yeah, very nice.
Thank you, Watersleeth. I appreciate it.
Watersleeth. Yeah, it's very, very kind. I think you're doing a spectacular job, especially as it came to that tower. But we don't have to rush ahead. I think that you are. How did you feel, Jared, overall about the hex crawl? Was it a constant nightmare for you? Would you never? Are you like, I don't need another hexploration in my life for another year or two? Like, are you exhausted by it? Like, or did you enjoy it? I'm sure you enjoyed it, but you know what I mean.
I would say that hex crawl can be more work because you don't always know what direction people are going to walk in, so you end up preparing a lot of encounters that don't get hit, at least not right away. But what was nice is once I just kind of went in and just sort of prepped all of them, then I didn't have to work on the game very much for a couple months.
You just
you
went in
just
and
have,
read
like-
all of them?
I'll just
Well,
flip to this page when they
You
go.
read
there.
all of them?
Yeah, and I made my notes on all of them, so that and look, I did that not all in one night. I did it over the course of several weeks, but once they were all covered, and like I think I probably like left chapter 3 Layuba. I left that alone for a little while, and then as you guys started to get closer, I was like, okay, it's time to prep that, But once you get them all done, then they can just walk wherever, and you can just kind of review your notes.
Can you break down the parts for me in the book as it's written? Part 1 is Calamity Cave.
Yes.
What is part 2? When does
Part 2 is Lost Mammoth Valley.
Is the valley.
It's just everything.
whole-
we
Wait,
did,
it might
the
have
whole
a
macro.
cool title. I'm sorry.
When does
Jessica
it end?
Catalan. Lost Mammoth Valley ends when you get to Layuba, but
Oh, Layuba is part 3.
But
That's
it's very clear, like in the front matter for the whole book, they're kind of like, hey, look, this is the calendar. Things happen at certain times. They should reach Layuba by the end of August or
month,
something
yeah.
like that. Yeah. So you guys didn't quite follow their calendar. I
I'm
feel like
not
you were a little
surprised.
faster.
faster?
We were faster.
You were getting to things pretty fast. You aggressively pushed eastward. I don't know if
Yeah,
you
we
recall.
We did.
Yeah.
I
did, we
recall
really
a
did.
moment where Jared was like, "That's not where I was expecting you all to." Okay, give me a moment to look at my
Well,
stuff.
I think that speaks to how the threat that Jared, put in our minds, and that the book, put in our minds of the burning mammoth.
Yeah.
Because we were like, I felt the flames,
Yeah.
licking the back of my heels the whole time. It really did feel like they are nipping. And so we felt like we had to move, that we didn't have
Yeah.
every time we stopped and did a side quest, it was like we would weigh, like, is this worth it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
felt the same.
Yeah, I think that I definitely felt a real pressure, and also once we knew that Venexis was massing in the east, it sort of felt like, why would I go northwest to reconnoiter hexes? It didn't make any sense to me. It felt like we got to keep pushing east. And yeah, could you go like up and down as you're going east and snake a little bit and like see, address all your concerns out there? Sure. It seemed weird to me to hike 2 days in the direction the bad guy isn't. I don't know. It was
But
weird.
did you guys, have we ever talked about the point where I was just unprepared early in book 2? Did we talk about it
That's
last
what I was
holiday party?
referencing. Just
Paula
now.
was just mentioning it, but
But
I
I
don't think
did
we've ever
wanna-
talked about it for
No,
the
it's
audience.
okay. I mean, I'll
Call
talk
it
about
out.
it. It's hilarious because I had prepared something like 15 encounters. And then you guys, I was like, here's the map. Go where you'd like. And you like went into the first text and were like, we're not interested in anything here. And I was like, oh, okay. And then you went into the next one and you were like, keep
Keep
going.
going.
And I was like,
Double
what?
time.
And then you got to like the third or fourth hex. And then I hadn't prepared that encounter, even though I'd prepared, so many ahead of that. But the ones I'd prepared ahead of that were very north. It's like exactly like Joe's saying. You would have had to have been like, let's zigzag, or let's pay a close attention to these mountains as we're leaving Calamity Cave. And it doesn't totally make, it's not common sense to think people would do that. So
Well, at that point,
When
we
you
had
think
just
flee for your
witnessed
lives.
a pretty horrifying scene right before Calamity Cave, but like that the burning mammoth were going to be coming out of that pass soon. They were going to dig their way out. And so we just started running like away from the burning mammoth and got 3 hexes. I can't remember if we talked about this on our like holiday party last year or not.
I don't
but
think we did. I don't think we ever talked about it.
ran like multiple hexes in, and I think it was the giant tree, like the giant oversized tree.
Yes, that's
Jared
where you
was
went,
like,
you beelined for it.
yeah, and Jared was
Mhm.
like, you see in this hex, you see a giant oversized tree in the distance. We're like, all right, we go up
To
and
that.
investigate. And Jared
That's
just
the point. That's the
he looks
marker.
down
That's
for a bit.
obviously our cue
Yeah.
of what we're supposed to be going to.
Right.
And Jared's like, no,
and he
no,
just pauses
no.
and he just goes, guys, I'm so sorry, but I can't do this right now. I can't do it. It's not prepared.
Yeah.
You ran
Like,
by
can we take a
everything
break?
I prepared.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Like, I thought we needed to be on the run. And Jared's like, they're not really like right there. They're not like
Well, I mean, that's the thing
It
about
was
that's the
so
thing about
funny.
that's the thing about Quest for the Frozen Flame is the burning mammoth. They're right behind you, but they're not.
are.
But they are.
Yeah.
But they're not.
Yeah.
A sense of urgency gets instilled in you that can make
That
you
first book, yeah.
skip like giant chunks of this optional content
Yeah.
because you feel like they are. It's like, well, they have to be. It's like, what are we,
I
it's
don't
a tough,
dislike
it's a tough
that.
sort of balancing
I don't
act.
dislike that as a design
No,
choice.
so
Honestly,
fun.
it's cool to kind of like take a big hex crawl, but you're kind of just objective. You have objectives in it instead of
And
just like going through every single hex.
Yeah.
It makes
Yeah.
it feel like not like a video game, right? Where
Mhm.
like that the main quest marker is they're like, oh, the city's under siege. But like you can get to it whenever you feel like,
Yeah.
like after
Right.
you've done all of the side quests
Yeah.
in the city, and then you can go and help them like defeat the siege. It didn't feel like that.
That drives me crazy in video games where it's like there actually isn't any urgency. They tell you there is, but it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna go help this fisherman like find the biggest fish in the lake. When
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just-
Because he gives me a really cool trinket,
Right.
and
Right.
and I want that.
it's like, oh, I can change
Well-
my eye color if I help this guy. It's like, what the fuck? It's like that doesn't make
I
any
can
sense.
change my eye color if I help this guy.
But
I think things
I heard
that
like in
kept-
Baldur's Gate, there's stuff that happens and stays permanently. Is that right?
Oh yeah.
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 Definitely.
things that I think were built in that helped me feel like, oh, there's a reason to explore all through this valley were things like once when we started getting kind of fed little clues about Meadowak, that felt important. And then the real thing for me, I felt more justified taking our time and exploring more hexes in Lost Mammoth Valley once we got to the Soul Singer, who basically was like, look, if you want help, if this is actually going to work, you're going to need to win over the Sutaki people. And
Right.
so then it was like, okay, all these little side quests, all these little errands we need to do make sense to me now, because we need to spread our reputation with these people. Otherwise, we will never get to get through this final boss fight.
Right.
So that helped
Yeah,
me
I
as a player. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I loved the marshaling of forces kind of idea. But then we also, it was a little bit earlier for me. I think for me, it was, I thought this was awesome. We went to a mountaintop, and my memory is it was the first time you described some of the hexes being blighted by some demonic force. Right around the time we met Herod. And then it was like, then you have another reason to like go off course, because you're like, we need to cleanse this land. And sure, there could be one argument that's like, oh, you just got to go cut the head off the snake, and then that will cure all the land. But that didn't seem like what the deal was. It seemed like there were like individual pockets of like,
We need to
this
cleanse these areas.
corruption that you needed to try to cleanse. Jared, can I ask you a favor? Would you mind going on firing up our VTT and just bringing up the regional map so I could see it again? It's just been so long. It'll help me to have a reference for like where everything was.
Is that
And then
something we can
while you're doing
share
that,
with the audience so they can see what we
No.
saw? No.
no, sadly.
No, but
Sorry,
they can,
y'all. Sorry.
They can buy Quest for the Frozen Flame. You know.
Ha.
Let
and
me
then they would see the map.
let me ask some questions here. I'm going to do some episode titles. You guys tell me what you think happened in that episode. How about March
That's
3rd,
so fun.
2025, episode 62 of this season? Creativity is not welcome here. What do you think happened in that episode?
262.
Let's see.
All
Was
right.
that
The
about
description is
Players or characters?
The tip of the spear rips through a swamp full of undead. You remember that?
Oh, I do.
Ghouls, right?
Remember
'Cause
that.
they
Those
were all
ghouls, there was like
ghouls.
20 of them. There
Yes.
was they had not a lot of hit points, but like there was a ton, like 12 of them. Oh, and they were all the Sutaki people.
Yeah,
It
and there
in
was
the
like
South.
a tree that got in the way of what we were trying to do. And there was like a separate. It was like the one time I cast like Bane and was like, yeah, this will be great. And then the first encounter ended and we had to move down to trigger the next encounter. And by the time that happened, the spell like wasn't up anymore. And I was like,
Ah!
the
There
one
is
time it
so
made sense to
much.
spend actions on this.
There is so much maddening shit when you cast spells. Like spells with durations or area effects. There's
Oh,
always some little
what page
shitty
I'm on
thing
right
that somebody
now.
does.
It's the
Ooh.
Nobasu 261. That's the page I was just literally randomly opening.
Oh
to.
my gosh, amazing.
Was
Yeah,
the Nobasu.
that episode is called Batsilisk. Batsilisk.
Basilisk.
Wow.
Very cool. Very cool.
Mine,
Interesting.
my
Episode
part of that
65
is right by where I circled the tear that dropped onto my
Oh yeah.
journal when I
right.
cried when AWOL gave Yelka her birthday present.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's amazing.
That was the me
Wow.
tracing the wet spot on my journal when I cried.
I remember that. It's
Oh,
Oh
wow.
my god. That was great. That was great. All right, March 24th, episode 65, Graduation Day. The hell
Oh
is
yeah,
that?
I
Did it have to do with
like
the
that
kids?
title.
Oh, the
Yeah.
kids.
Like when
Yeah.
the kids became actual fighters.
Gavaga's kids, and
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, and we
Yeah.
almost killed them all. That was awful.
Oh my God.
Oh,
that was so
oh,
scary.
oh, right.
Remember? Yeah.
Oh,
do
yeah, you
remember
took them into
Skid? We
battle.
went into that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we didn't even know that
Yeah.
one kid's name, and he was gonna go down because our ambush failed.
Well, that would be the title
Yeah.
that comes right after. You don't even know his name.
Yep. You don't even know his name is next.
That's like a couple episodes later, or like the
No,
next
it's the next episode.
Wow.
Oh man.
And then,
Oh my God.
greatest title of all, I think, the next episode after that, April 7th, episode 67, The Macmillan Building.
The Macmillan Still, someone mentioned in the chat. I was like already starting to laugh. It's
It's
So
so
wait, where did
funny.
that
It
come
gets
from
me
again?
Every time.
It's
Oh,
the
the-
name
Was that
what we
a-
called the tower, right?
The
No,
Mammoth
we-
Tower.
I know,
Yeah.
but why did we call it that? Was that a
Jared
skid
just called
improv?
it that because we like
Jared?
named it the Mammoth Tower instead of the Ashen Tower, and he was like, "Yeah, what did you guys call it? Something stupid like the Macmillan Building."
And then that we were like,
"Yes."
canon, done. That's
Yes.
what it is.
We
Now
never
it's
called
the
it anything
Macmillan
else.
Building.
Yeah.
Building.
Yeah, I wrote Macmillan
And then my
Building.
favorite part of that is I did look at the socials later, and everybody was like, "What is he referencing? I can't find a
It-
prominent Macmillan building."
It feels like
Yes,
the
look
name
for
of
the
the building
secrets.
in like Die Hard or something. Do you know what I
Yes.
mean? It feels
Yes.
like it
That
should
is
come from
exactly
something
what
like
I thought,
that.
Paula.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
the building in Die Hard. What is that? Come on, Skid, you got this.
Nakatomi Plaza.
Yeah, that's
Nakatomi
Nakatomi
Plaza.
Plaza. Otherwise known in some circles as the Macmillan
The
Building.
Macmillan Building. That was the name before it got
Yes.
bought out by the Japanese.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I love this title, but I'm not sure why you made it this. The next episode is Quick Time Event.
Oh, I know why.
What's the story behind
So
that?
that's where we were running. Had like the chase.
The chase.
So I feel it was like a chase, or it was like when we were doing the big siege, and everyone had like, you need to do this one thing, and these checks will determine if they catch
Yeah.
up to you or not.
Yes.
We probably
Alright, great.
referenced
Well-
it in the episode. It feels like a quick time event in a video game.
Let's
Yeah.
get into it. Let's get into it. That to me is like one of the standout moments of the season prior to the finale. I'm really excited to talk about Lyuba too. Lyuba was awesome, but like,
It was awesome.
talk us through this, Jared. What you did a lot of work on this. It was all kind of homebrew, right? Like this encounter is not in the book.
Yeah, how
By
did
design,
you
right?
feel when we were convinced we needed to deal with the burning mammoth? Because I realized in hindsight that we made that up.
Well, okay. So I could tell that you guys really wanted to take, well, you told me you want to take the tower and make it like a new headquarters for you, and you want to put your following in it to kind of hold off the burning mammoth and all that. And that sounded like the coolest idea ever. And just because it wasn't in the book didn't mean we couldn't do it. So I thought, let's do it. So it wasn't
I
that
love that
much
about
work.
you, Jared. Can I just say that I think that's you. This is not the only time you've done this. When you tell us that our ideas are cool, like that just
Yeah.
makes me feel awesome.
Yeah.
That you're like, yes, cool idea, awesome.
I mean, it
Let's
was
do
fucking
it.
cool. It was a
It
super
was.
cool idea. And you know, part of me wishes that we could have just gone on living in the tower, fighting off the entire burning mammoth army for whatever. At some point, I did have to put us back, or we all
Yeah.
put ourselves back on the quest. But
I would have been
Yeah,
happy. I love tower defense games. I could have done that forever.
Yeah.
It was so fun too.
It was
Like I
so
love
fun.
It was
Yeah,
so
we
different
made
from
this,
anything
like,
I've ever done. Yeah.
diagram of like where we put our archers. Yeah, we put our archers there and here, and those were like, these are the two sides that we had no defenses, and there was forest in these hexes, and it was awesome. And
I
then
just want to
fucking
shout out.
frost
I want to
warriors.
shout out David Barnhart, who does the YouTube channel How It's Played for Pathfinder stuff. He helped me with this last section, or I'm sorry, this improvised section. This part I added on to Lost Mammoth Valley, and so did Professor Eric Nielsen.
Oh.
Like
I
personally
emailed
helped
both
you?
of them to ask them a couple questions, like
That's so
what would
cool.
be the best way to do this, or the easiest way to do this, or the most fun way to
so
do this.
cool.
And they were super, super helpful. So thank you guys so much. And they gave me inspiration for things too. So thank
That's
you.
so cool.
Oh, thank you to them. That's so awesome.
I know that. I've watched that channel quite a bit.
It's
how it's
great.
played.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
David
great.
knows so much, almost as much as Professor Eric. Should we have them in some sort of trivia face-off?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I think.
Yes.
Yes. Book
Yeah.
them for the holiday party.
Yeah,
That's so fun. Oh my
I'm
god,
gonna
yes.
do a Pathfinder trivia face-off.
That would
Yes.
be amazing. We could ask the most obscure questions imaginable.
Wait. Okay. What if two teams, two of us and one expert, and then like Jared asks all the questions. That'd be fun.
It's pretty cool. All right,
Team-
let's
Great idea.
not develop. Yeah, let's
A little
see what
healthy
happens.
competition.
Let's put
See what
together a
happens.
4-hour holiday party. This
That
sounds-
actually
it.
that reminds me. I was
I'll
hanging
get
out
so
with
drunk.
I think it'd be fun.
Rob Kirkovich
And we have to be drunk.
a couple of days ago. We stopped in at the gaming store where we did the original Glass Cannon Live. It's a different different store now, and I bought this
Whoa.
the Dungeons and Dragons
Wow.
Trivial Pursuit game
Awesome.
Interesting.
yeah,
Oh, that's
I've
so
no one
fun.
to ever play with.
Good.
I want to play.
I'll
I
play
bet
with
I'll
you.
lose, but I'll play.
I know
I'd love
some
to
things
play.
about Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd learn a lot from playing because I learn a lot from playing normal Trivial Pursuit. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Anyway,
That's
it's here.
cool. Let's play.
so many times have I cracked open the PDF of an old D&D book from 1989 thinking this is going to be fucking awesome, and then tapped out a couple pages in because of the weird block text
Three-column.
and
Oh yeah.
30-year-old style.
Yeah.
So that's me admitting
Especially
to
when
weakness.
I've been building second edition AD&D characters all day today for
Amazing.
what I'm doing at the retreat, and so
Oh,
it's like, I've
nice.
been dealing with
fun.
these archaic texts.
Tomes.
all day.
These
The
are
old
big
tomes.
Let me geek out for a second, Jared, and just compliment you so much on the mechanics of that encounter, which were really awesome. Where did you come up with some of the numbers, like, you know, how many successes you needed in order to, or a bonus, or you know, and were you just like kind of riffing some of that on the fly, especially things like where oh my god, I forget her name.
Penawaku?
Penawaku. I kept thinking Pacano, where
I
Penawaku
am
was
offended
versus
on her
where somebody
behalf
else
that you
was.
can't even remember her name.
There's P's
they're
and
both
A's and K's.
Ps.
I get
There's
it.
a lot of
and
Ps.
N's. Yeah, I get it.
You know, where did you come up with these numbers? Is that something that, you know, you were guided by the, you know, the other guys, or did you come up with them yourself, or did you tweak them in the moment if something didn't feel right? Like, how were you approaching the numbers?
Well, I think both David and Eric recommended for ease of play or they said it would be perfectly fun and meaty to use a victory point system. So then if you go to the GM core, there's a whole section on victory points, which tells you, you know.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it gives you guidelines for running a victory point event or
That's so
something
cool.
like that. And we had just done a chase, which has separate rules, but is extremely similar, where, you know, you have to get certain skill checks in order to advance or to stop something bad from happening.
Interesting. That's very cool. All right, so let's start moving over to Lyuba. As we finish up part 2, what is kind of like the big end of part 2? Was there a big boss? Was that the demon boss?
The end of book
Part
2. Oh,
two.
before you get into
Sorry,
Lyuba,
part
very
2.
great, very good question. Yeah, there isn't really. You know, the Ashen Tower is kind of like a midpoint, right? Because it's a mini dungeon in the middle of the hex crawl. That's kind of like a midpoint, but there isn't like a boss on the other end of the valley except for Venexus and Ashen Swale in Lyuba, which is its own separate chapter. Chapter 2, I just want to say these are cool titles. Chapter 2, where you're in the valley, is Blue Sky, Green Earth. But chapter
cool.
3, when you're in Lyuba and in the Glacial Palace, is called White Hot.
Ooh, that's cool.
Oh,
That is
cool.
good.
But yeah, so no, there's not really. There was a boss in the tower, but that's the boss for the valley, kind of.
I have a question then. So we, we're just talking about how we homebrewed this siege of the tower, and through that we ended up getting Veshka. So that is not a lieutenant, I'm assuming.
No,
that
Veshka's
came
not a
in the
lieutenant in
story.
the book.
So then you needed to make stats for her, because then we ended up bringing her with us for a long time, like basically the rest of the book.
Yeah, don't give me too much credit. I used an NPC stat block.
And then you were just like, this is Veshka. Great.
Yeah, and I might have even gotten it wrong in one episode and used another one. Look, I'm only human.
Actually, this whole time he was using Harbina's stat block for Veshka just to prove a point
Harbina!
that we've never paid enough attention to Harbina Farwander.
No, that can't be true because Veshka was useful.
Yeah, I
People-
think we paid exactly as much attention to Harbina Farwander as she warranted.
Yeah.
She stinks.
She just didn't
she's
have a
fine.
He's
weapon.
coming back in book 3.
No.
In a big way.
In a
Okay.
big
That's
way.
In a lot of
Raga's new
ways,
love
this
interest.
is Harbina's book.
This is Harbina's story.
Yeah.
We're
We're gonna find out one day. This is all
supporting
Harbina's
characters.
story.
Oh
Well,
my
yeah, people like to tell
God.
Veshka played as a lieutenant, which is, just smacking for high damage. You know?
It's great.
It's kind of nice while you're doing your own thing as your player character to have someone just whacking the thing for high damage.
And it's such a cool way for you to potentially drop lore to us with this character from the people who kicked off this entire thing.
Oh, and I loved
Yeah.
that. I loved that vibe of can we trust her? Yes, we can. No, we can't. Yes,
Yeah.
we should. But no, we shouldn't. She's been hurt too. Remember, we saw that she has these wings
Burned onto
branded
her.
into her back. That's
Yeah.
terrifying. And
And
she
remember
did
when
surrender.
AWOL went hunting with her and she had the knife?
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
I thought for sure she was about to gank him.
And she didn't, she chose us. She chose the broken
Well,
tusk.
actually, you guys made that happen because you guys were, this was not in my head at all. You guys were like, we don't just murder a bunch of people. We take
I was
prisoners. We give them an option to surrender if they want. Well, that's Herod,
Glimpse
right?
of redemption.
Yes, yes.
Herod wants
yeah.
a different kind of war. He wants a different kind of world. So that was very, very cool. And Veshko had to be sort of at first improvised on the fly, but it was very cool to have a burning mammoth walking around with you. The fucking enemy
Yeah.
of the campaign is
Yeah.
in your party. That's kind of cool.
It's
Yeah,
very
and she
cool.
brought a cool element to it of just, a cool philosophy that I think helps to deepen and distinguish all of our own stories, which is the philosophy of aggression and strength being the way to victory. And her feeling that anything else is weakness. Always an interesting character to have in a story, and our party didn't have that, and it was good to have that, and it really shows why we make sometimes the harder decision, because it's it's the better way, at least for us, for our characters. So yeah, she showed that dichotomy really well.
Well, this character is alive because you showed mercy, and she's trying to teach you guys to not show mercy.
Yeah,
it's a funny
I mean, that's
character.
how intense they are. They're very, very intense. And you can see when this is going all the way back to the end of book 1, and I kind of like that idea. Like, we all think that the big bad of book 3 is, what's her name from the Burning Mammoth?
Ivarsa.
Like,
she's got to come back. There's no way
I would
she doesn't
assume
come
she's
back.
the big bad of the whole book, because
We also have to deal with
of the whole
Meadowak.
adventure.
I think Meadowak, or whatever Meadowak it has become, is probably the biggest bad. But I don't know.
Really?
Do you think if
Interesting.
Varsa is going to be like Ashen Swale and Meadowak is going to be like the Nexus?
The Nexus.
Maybe.
I think the reverse. I'm going to
You
write
think
this
so?
down. I'm going to write
think
down
they can't
predictions.
predict
Here's how I
for
can
season 3.
Here's how I can see it happening. What I can see happening is we finally get to wherever Meadowak is, and he's broken down by time, and he's like, I kill me. I want this to be over. I've atoned for my sins. And then Varsa swoops in, and she's takes whatever power he has, and she gets herself possessed by whatever he's possessed by, and then she's like, "Rah!" And then she's like,
Jared's making notes.
big bad. That's what I think. I don't know.
You think that's how it will go?
Wait, so that means, Mary Lou, you think Ivarsa is the big bad of the campaign?
I think she'll become the big bad by being possessed by whatever
She's
Meadowak got.
You guys are
Meadowak's
insane because
second
you haven't
phase.
even met the Crocinator yet, which is
I've not met the
Crocodile.
a gigantic crocodile with the mind of a super genius.
Oh wow!
So
Awesome. You're right. That would be
I don't
the
want
big
to
bad.
spoiler alert. You kind of wrap up everything by book 1 of book 3, chapter 1 of book 3, and then it's about the
Just
Crocinator.
Crocinator.
Yeah,
It's about the Crocinator.
it's 2 chapters of Crocinator.
Oh wow!
The
Great.
hunt for the Crocinator.
I wish that was actually true. That'd be an amazing.
That'd be
design
so
story.
funny.
Just to add an unrelated villain with no foreshadowing.
Have the entire Burning Mammoth and Frozen Flame story wrap
Rap
in
completely.
part 1 of book 3, and then
Yeah.
have randomly 2 parts of the Crocinator.
An animal that doesn't even belong in that
What a
biome.
bold design
Yeah.
choice.
That would
That's
be incredible.
also about the Game of Thrones TV show. How 3 episodes into the final season, they're like, we killed the Night King, White Walkers, gone, all good. Let's spend 4 more episodes with Cersei. What crazy stuff is she gonna get up to? And I'm like, guys, that was the story. That was it. What do you mean?
Good.
Sorry.
Anyway, I'm just writing down Crocinator because
Crocinator. Yep.
it's got to go in something.
It's got to go in
I am
somewhere.
Gotta put it
obsessed with
somewhere.
Crocinator.
I want to ask
Exactly.
it a question. Can I do that?
Mhm.
Can I do what I want? Can I ask it a question?
Yeah, do what you
Ask
want.
what a question.
Skid.
Neat.
A question.
Who are you?
Oh, I
asking
think you said I
that
want
of?
to ask it a question. Go
Oh,
ahead.
no. Skid. Excuse me. Skid. A question.
Skidly,
Yes.
Mar.
Hold on,
So-
before you do, let's just
Yeah.
close this out from Quantum Bits and Bytes and just say
Mhm.
the new intro should be about the Crocinator.
Crocinator says our days are
Wow.
numbered.
You know what, Quantum Bits? That's not how you spell Crocinator. Okay?
No one knows how to
Oh, yeah.
spell anything in this world, by the way.
It's Croconator, dude.
Oh,
'Cause the
Wow,
way you
I
spell it
never
looks like
would've
it's
guessed.
Crocinator, and that's not. That's
Oh,
wrong.
not
you're right.
So many
Crocinator.
levels.
it's Croconator.
Yeah, what were you
Crocinator.
thinking?
Okay.
What were you thinking, Quantum?
Wow.
Oh my god.
I would have spelled it. I would have spelled it the way that you guys spelled it. Sorry. Good to know. Good to know.
Oh god, this is
Okay,
amazing.
question for
funny.
Skid.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, from your perspective and from Herod's perspective, now that you've been in as Herod, not as many episodes as Olog, but through the end of season 2 or the end of the second book, do you feel like Herod is integrated into the group? How has it felt bringing this new character in and midway through the book and getting to where we are. I've never
That's
had
such
to
a good
bring a
question,
new
and
character into an
I can't wait
existing
to hear.
campaign. So I don't know what it's like.
Yeah, I think it's tough because his fiction is that he is an outsider, even like where the story is taking place. He's like he's someone who doesn't really belong there anyway. And so I think it's like, I mean, I feel like I feel him integrating into the story we're telling, but I don't know if he'll ever. I think it will take some more time and effort to make him feel like he really belongs where he is.
Yeah, that's interesting. I love how he's kind of incorporated in the thing now in so many ways. I mean, the big way being at the end of the book, he has the frozen flame.
Didn't see that coming.
Neither did I, because it was completely up in the air.
Didn't see
Yeah.
that
No.
in the range of outcomes.
Tell him what, and we'll get back to this, but tell him what you said in the email to us. Remember about how you were re-listening to
Oh
an episode?
yeah. I was editing. No, I went back to re-listen. Oh my god. I want to get this. I want to get this right.
You don't remember when he was re-listening and he found something that we said several
Well,
episodes.
don't spoil it. Let me find it.
Okay. Yeah, I won't spoil it.
Oh, when we saw
Well, come
the
back to
art
me. Come back to
on
me.
the wall, when we saw like the murals
That's what it was.
of Venexus being like obsessed with the
Right. Within
flame, right?
Venexus' thing. Yeah.
Yeah, Joe,
It's
just
not even
find
that.
your email.
I'm
But
gonna find
was
it,
cool.
and I'll. It wasn't even that long ago. In terms of the episodes, it wasn't even that long. It's not like it's
No.
from a year ago or something. I'll find it, and I'll. Oh boy, yeah, I'll find it.
I'm thinking about Herod's, like, we know the broad strokes of his story, but like we know he had a wife, and we don't know anything, about where he came from, like before he was in the war. We know about the war and after, and yeah, I wonder if we'll ever be able to like get him to open up, if we'll ever have the time and space to do that, or if we'll just be too busy, saving the world or whatever.
Yeah, it's always the tricky thing with a backstory, like with a
Right.
character, especially when it comes along halfway through, is getting that opportunity, that organic or opportunity to kind of to relay all that stuff. It is tough.
Or the
Yeah.
GM, just remind the GM to do it, and then
Yeah.
sometimes I'm able to set up opportunities.
Yeah.
It's so hard knowing what we've recorded that the audience hasn't heard and being like, y'all,
I know.
just
I
wait
know.
because you're gonna get some cool stuff coming up.
Paula, don't
Nothing
say
at all.
anything
We
at
won't
all,
say anything.
dude. Even saying something cool is coming is a spoiler. Stop.
That's
Yeah.
All right.
The whole
So-
thing is
I don't
cool.
know
Then
that
they'll
I
know
agree.
it's cool.
Yeah, that's Joe's belief system for spoilers, though. That's what he said. Don't tell me that you and Nick Lowe, like you're both. You can't say, "Oh, this movie. I hear this new movie. I hear it's in English." It's like, "Fuck you! I'll kill you." You can't tell him anything. It's like,
All right, so I wish I had the episode. I don't have it, but in the email that I sent you, I said that it was from 8 episodes ago. I think it might have been 8 episodes before the finale. But anyway,
No, not that far.
I don't think it was that far. But basically, we were within the ice palace, and we're seeing all this symbology on the walls.
Mhm.
And then I say, this is very interesting because it seems like if we get the sense that the flame is twisting Venexus, which we now know is true, what would it do if we got it? And then I pause and I say, Herod would use this flame from a
You do,
desire
yes.
to do good. And then
Yeah.
and then Skid comes right over me with the whole quote from Lord of the Rings and says, "But through me, it would work a powerful too great and terrible to imagine." And I'm like, and I'm like, that's very interesting. And Paula just goes, "Well, I think we're about 6 steps ahead of ourselves.
Like,
Let's just
wait,
focus on what's in
let's-
front of us."
Let's calm down a
Isn't that
second.
crazy?
And
That's exactly what happened.
what happened.
yeah,
It's wild.
Can I also, I know we're skipping ahead, we haven't talked about Lyuba, but I really want to call out what a great job I think Jared did So in the moment of like, we're figuring out who should take this flame, and my brain as the player is 8 million miles in the opposite direction of what is actually happening. And I'm like, okay, we got to be clever. We got to do it, but don't touch it. But don't actually touch it. So do this and do this and do this. And we were setting ourselves up for every single one of us basically to interact with this thing and get cursed. And Jared, seeing this, like, gives the opportunity to like make a roll and then be like, you know that this has nothing to do with actually physically touching. Like the fact that you were like, you are on the wrong path, and I'm going to give you a chance to see that you are not. You
can't game your way out of this. This is a
goddess's. This isn't a puzzle. This is.
I had a plan. I had a plan. If a bunch of you touched it, do you want to know what that is?
Yeah.
Yes.
From then on, you all had to stay close together. You had to stay like you had to sleep in the same tent.
Oh, man.
You had to stay close.
It would have been like Treasure of the Sierra Madre, or that episode of The Simpsons that was based on Treasure of the Sierra Madre.
Yeah, within its glow, within the, like, you know, the reach of its, when it's off glow, because as Skid has pointed out recently, it can create sunlight for miles.
Yeah.
It's a powerful item, but
anyway. I really want to use that power. It's so cool. It's like,
gotta figure out how to do that.
Holding it up like He-Man holds the sword up, just like burst of light. Oh, I have the power.
I think too, one of the nice things about Herod having it is it's a way to continue to further and more concretely integrate Herod into the world of the Broken Tusk.
Yeah, that's what even though it did happen by accident, that was one reason I was really glad that it did happen, because it's a way to force Herod as this outsider to integrate him into the greater story in a way that has to be reckoned with. I was very happy about that.
And he has to be active. He can't be passive and allow us to make the decisions. He has to be a leader again. He's got to make his own decisions.
Yeah, exactly. Even though he has the least amount of reasons to be invested in the success of this group of people, he didn't grow up with them. He's not one of them. It's like it makes this have to reckon with these things.
And as Letsua said, Herod is one of us. He has musk ox.
Yeah.
Yes. He's in my house. We're in the same house. Come on, man. I'm tired of you running yourself down. Cut it out. You know what else is really cool is just, it's been too long maybe for me. I can't remember if I'm missing something, but it's great in a campaign, high fantasy campaign. It's great to have a cursed artifact.
Yes.
One or more.
And it is.
Because they're cool, especially if they like give you power, but with a curse. And we just don't see them very often. They're usually very rare.
Most of all the like artifacts in 1E AD&D, they all had a curse associated with them. All
of them. Cool.
Yeah.
Right. And we are embarking here, guys. October 30th. Is the premiere of episode 1 of our Shadow Dark campaign. Paula's birthday.
Have you said happy birthday to me in your recording of that? And happy birthday to Matthew, I guess also.
Of course.
Twin.
And an early happy birthday to Skid.
That's part and parcel in Shadow Dark as well. It's like, when you read items, like right along with them is like cursed items, cursed, like everything that's powerful is cursed, which is just awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
Awesome.
It's great.
All right, I want to talk about Lyuba.
Yes.
The entrance into Lyuba, extremely cool how that's done. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember it as AWOL sort of creeping up, starting to scout, and you just see all these huts and villages and just the bone warriors just walking around. They're occupying this village. It is a village occupied by its enemies, and it just creates such a cool story to go from that hex crawl of part 2 to go into like trying to incite a rebellion. And the best part of that, and Jared, this is a credit to you, is I think you did such a great job of making the inhabitants very wary to fight against their captors. Like, you know, you'd think it would just be like, yeah, we're in. Where?
Right.
What time? But
Yeah.
instead, they're like, you're going to get us all killed. Like, they have heads on spikes over here.
We don't know
That was
you.
awesome. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I sort of expected a similar thing of just like, you guys want to rebel, right? We're here, let's do it. And they'd be like, we've been waiting for you. But it was, I think, much more realistic as like, you guys are strangers. I guess some people we know have told us that you're cool, but like, I don't even know if I like that guy or trust that guy who said you were cool. I might think he's crazy. And yeah, it was more emotionally invested, those episodes that were just like little side quests where we each went off and did our own little bit, and it was all kind of role play and skill checks. It was some of the coolest, most interesting episodes.
And we got a new Raga ship.
Nasanu. Yes.
Yeah, but Nasanu doesn't have a chance. I mean, I just feel like he's been. You've forgotten.
Not compared to. Look, I
haven't
can't
forgotten
talk about it because it's a spoiler.
I haven't forgotten him, but he's got some competition now.
He never really shot his shot. You know, I mean,
no,
it's true. There's
you got to be direct.
That's on him. That's on him. You know,
you got to be direct.
There's still time
with
for
Raga.
Nasanu.
Yeah,
it's true. Raga is 18. She is not 14.
To be clear,
canonically 18.
So my favorite thing with I didn't know how all that NPC encounter stuff would run, but then we ended up having a ton of fun with it.
Yeah.
But what I liked was because I'm a sick bastard, is that I made the Soul Singer's head be on one of the spikes.
That
wasn't
sick.
in the book. You just did that.
Yeah, because I'm a fucking psychopath.
I'm so glad you did
I
that.
did,
Jared.
And then you guys were like, "What the fuck?"
What the
And-
fuck?
And then,
Yeah.
I'm so upset.
yeah, well, because
Yeah.
it's fucking vile.
My sad
That's why.
face.
It
Yeah,
makes
my sad
him
face.
so
R.I.P.
bad.
It's so vile. But then I was hoping that would make you like, "Oh my god, I want to fuck these guys up so bad."
Yes, it did. It did make
Yeah,
me
they're
feel that.
evil.
Yeah,
And I
liked
felt
that guy.
guilty because we convinced him to defy Ashen Swale, and then he
Yep.
got
And then he got
he got got.
because he like helped us out. Yeah, that was really a defining moment. I feel like that was super intense.
And if that wasn't there, I probably wouldn't have done the thing later where I wanted
Oh,
to
I
try
love
and, like,
that.
release all the souls.
Right?
Yeah.
Remember that was
So
awesome.
Cool.
That was cool. That was
Yeah, that-
pretty
Yeah.
cool.
those poor
That was pretty cool. Thank you for letting me do that because that was awesome.
It was awesome.
a couple of amazing spell moments for Paula in Layuba.
In Layuba.
Remember when it started?
I had
With
a
the
very good, I think,
phenomenal
torrent or something.
Torrent, whatever it was called, when you gushed all the Bone
Yeah.
Warriors into the
Yeah.
water right
Yeah.
at the
Pretty
jump,
awesome. That was
popped out of
pretty
the bushes and just boom, and it was like
Yeah.
a cone, and everybody failed. Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Awesome.
Sometimes
That fight was
my
really fun. I
spells
felt like that
do
was the first time
something.
that's the first time I felt like AWOL was like a Navy SEAL. We were like, he was like sunk
that's
in
right.
the swamp.
And
then-
because
Yes.
we use your
and then
crafting
Yelka
roll.
knocked them all down, like came out from the bushes, just started, and we couldn't let any of them get away. We had to murder them all. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you use your crafting roll to like camouflage us, and Baba was brown. He was a
Yeah.
brown bear.
Yeah. Oh, when we did the full like put
Yeah,
on the
we
bone
did.
thing, AWOL rolled a nat 20 on
Oh
the
my gosh.
crafting,
So sick.
and so Jared he very kindly was like,
Let us
yeah,
get
you
away
just
with a
look
lot.
like Bone Warriors. Yeah, you could just walk around town. That was really
Awesome.
cool. Oh, what
Yeah.
about? All right, let's talk about for a second the interdimensional space that was in
that
like
was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was cool.
how
That's in
random.
the book. That's
and-
in the book, and all of those great NPCs are in the book. And yeah, I thought Jessica Catalan. That's some of her best stuff in the entire Lost Mammoth Valley book is this little NPC encounters. But yeah, their secret hideout was another dimension.
I mean,
So
Jessica
cool.
Catalan, I will be tracking down whatever else she writes because this
Yeah.
is insane.
Yeah.
Like this
was
book,
nuts.
I feel like this book would take me like 5 years to write. I mean, there is so much if you think about the start of Calamity Cave through
Yeah.
all of the exploration of Lost Mammoth Valley to all of
Huge.
the internal strife of Lyuba up to like the boss palace at the end. I mean, what an adventure.
Yeah.
Just
I
just
want to know
phenomenal.
more about any stuff that we missed.
Yeah, is there more we
Um,
didn't do?
Very few
I love
things.
knowing that stuff.
You didn't do the Great Hunt. You
Yeah.
didn't meet the Doulahan.
Yeah.
And you didn't take on a burning forest. A burning forest encounter with some Brimaracks.
Ooh,
Um,
Brimaracks.
There might
Interesting.
have been one or two other things. That's all I remember. Oh, you didn't get everything in the mountains because, like, one of these encounters, you literally would have had to like double back.
Oh, okay.
But if you
Yeah.
do that, if you go like to the most,
Should we do it now? Should we
Yeah,
Too
should we
late
go
now.
back?
Wait,
where
right now.
where
Too
we
late
are right now and go back?
You get like an encounter with the burning mammoth. Like if you come out of the cave and you just take a hard right south and then kind of go back up into the mountains, you encounter the burning mammoth. And I was gonna make that like it was like a scouting party of guys who had come over the mountain instead of trying to dig their way through.
Mhm.
So yeah, but you missed that too. But I mean, I really do love
Anything in
not hitting
Lyuba
everything.
or no, yeah, but I just like
Lyuba.
anything in Lyuba or in the palace. Anything that we missed? I think there was one like path
There was
we
one
didn't go
little
down.
nook we did not have time to look into. So I'm
It was the
really glad
mirrored
we went
nook.
north and we
Yeah.
found the
brother.
dragon.
The Glacial Palace,
Dragon.
actually, you guys missed an entire level that is ruled and controlled by the Crocinator.
No, I was gonna say I can
That's
tell
how
Jared's
that's how the
line. I can tell
Crocinator got away.
immediately. Yeah.
Wow.
It was
What was
so
in the
cool.
what was in the other nook though? In instead of
Dude,
brother's
that
nook.
other nook had a +6 sword of
No.
everything
Oh!
weakness.
everything we
No, I can't believe we missed it.
Yeah, you missed it. Sorry.
So,
It was so
I actually
awesome
wanna
when
ask-
we came around and saw that dragon. Because
Yeah.
it's so cool when a thing you do early wraps back around. And it's like we helped him. And so then he talked to us and he kind of helped us. And it was awesome.
Was
Sorry,
that all in
Joe.
the book?
What's
Yeah,
that?
was-
He's
he in
there
the
and he's
book?
like Venexis' brother and he's kind of like
Oh yeah, Fezarad.
and he
yeah,
sides with you if you let him go.
Ezra.
And by sides with you, he just doesn't kill you.
that's right. Hmm.
Is he a straight up
I felt like-
encounter? Well, I mean, if you don't let him go, how does he get away? Right? Is he just not in?
Yeah, I guess
in
he just
there?
wouldn't be there.
If you don't let him go, later you come
Let
across these
my
burning mammoths,
dragon
and they're
go.
eating like some meat that's like this huge.
No, you're
meat.
making this up.
And
You're
you
joking.
look at the head of the table, and it's the head of Fezarad,
No.
and he's
Just
still
answer the
partially
question.
alive.
Why don't you just?
And he
No.
says, "They are killing me."
No.
I
You're
stopped
being
this to
bad.
say hello to Sydney in chat. Hi, Sydney.
Sid.
My God, I tried to put Sydney up. Jobster, what's up, buddy? Every time I click on her, there she is. There she is. The one and
Hi,
only.
Sid.
Woo woo.
Hi,
What's up, Sid?
Sid.
Hello.
Good to see you. So before the dragon, right before the dragon, this was interesting. The undead mammoth guardians.
Oh,
Mhm.
the
I
way they
loved
took
that
the
encounter.
gods
So
and fashioned
first, let me
these
ask-
things to be the like Sutaki gods. That's messed up.
First, let me ask: did you only trigger that encounter by attacking them? Like,
Yeah.
if you don't attack them, do they not attack you? Because the one to the south never attacked us.
So, Paula, you're talking about the carrion golems that
Oh,
were
am I talking about a different
guarding
thing?
Ashen Swale's
Yeah.
compound. Joe is talking about these zombie mammoths who are in like the main
The ones
chamber.
that I said we should skip, and y'all really wanted to fight.
You know what?
Yeah.
This is a great question because I really, as a GM, for various reasons having to do with the fun of the whole thing and how it was playing out, didn't want you to have to just have a big encounter against both of those mammoths at once, right? And I really didn't want you to have to fight them in succession either. That sounded kind of boring to me. So I think I kind of went by what the rules said here for the mammoths. Do you mind if I look it up? Is it that
Yeah.
interesting?
No, go
Maybe
ahead.
not.
But while
Yeah.
you
It's
look it up,
interesting.
I'll say
I
I
wanna know.
loved the fight so much because I thought they were really cool. Their
They were
ability
tough.
to impale and then literally grapple you in the air with the impale, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Ah!"
Here's the sentence I used.
That
Here's
was
the sentence
cool.
I used. The zombie mammoths attack when approached.
Okay.
So
We
you
never
could read
really
that
approached
as
them
you
under the
walk
stuff.
in, they both attack. Or you can read that as, well, the way I read it was, if you try to go down the hallway they're in front of, that's when they attack.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
And I think
It does make
It's
sense.
fascinating.
made a great-
fascinating
I think-
stuff.
I think you made a great choice though as a GM. Seriously, like you have to keep your eye on that. Like sometimes the book will say one thing, but you got to feel out like this encounter could be really hard and a grind and not fun for nothing, like for no positive result. And similarly, beating one, then triggering the next one if it seems like the player characters want to sneak around it. Also kind of boring. It's the same fight again, you know.
Right.
So I think that was a good call. And I was interested the whole time. I kept thinking, like, why is it not coming after us? The first one we attacked. Like, I understand why it came after us.
Yeah,
But then I thought it was interesting that they would just like be completely inert until attacked. I thought that was cool.
Can we talk about the giant skeleton from the Ashen Tower that you guys
Told him to bury himself.
you made him bury
Oh,
himself?
yeah.
Yes. I thought about trying to
So
get
cool.
him to come back up during the siege, but then it never, the timing didn't work and it didn't make sense. But I had a moment where I was like, should we use that skeleton that we told him to bury himself?
I kind of got the feeling you guys didn't know the siege was coming when you were like, let's just get rid of this thing. But maybe you did. I don't know. But it's
No.
funny. But also, like, I mean, I just love it's very interesting, the decisions that were made. I don't think they're bad.
I think we hadn't thought about it
Ooh.
by the time we cleared the tower. I don't think we had planned on making it a defensive position.
No,
yet.
we're just like, our people are going to come here and there can't be this potential enemy who might attack them. So this giant skeleton needs to go away. It's messed up, actually. We had that thing bury itself.
No, it's sweet because you laid it to rest.
Undead. It's undead.
You laid it
It's
to
where
rest.
it belongs, underground.
Digging for an eternity.
I forgot something like huge, major, that I want to know. Like,
What?
do you remember AWOL stayed out of the tower during the Venexus flyover?
Yeah, and
And
saw
then
Vanessa.
yeah.
saw AWOL crash
Yes.
down in front of him. What's
Yeah.
going through your head in that moment, Jared? Are you like, I could just kill him?
Well, so what I thought was cool is, like, you know, as written, you don't see Venexus. You see Venexus for a glance in the cave, and then you don't see Venexus again until you're at the boss fight for Venexus. And I thought that's a shame, because Venexus should, you know, pop up again and be scary just to remind everybody. And also, I thought, and going totally to what I think the spirit of the whole book was, if you guys are gonna hold up here and have a big war with the burning mammoths for, you know, a couple episodes, then Venexus is going to notice that, because Venexus patrols her valley, you know? She's going to see that and she's going to show up. So that, I mean, that's just logic, but it was like, oh, no matter what's happening with this whole battle siege encounter, I can have Venexus swoop in and make it fucking terrifying all of a sudden. And it was because
It was
AWOL was still
terrifying.
out there.
Yeah.
Right. But in the moment,
And
like,
then you nat 20'd your religion roll.
yeah. So let's say just in the what if comic
This
of
is my
this,
note about that. This is
he
me drawing
doesn't-
the Nexus.
amazing. Let's say in the what if comic of this, he doesn't nat 20 that roll. Are you gonna like breath weapon AWOL? Like, what was going through your head in that moment?
I was going to breath weapon AWOL.
And then what? Just fly off or finish
No,
off
AWOL was gonna have to fight single combat against Venexus for a couple of rounds. But as you
Wait,
can
wait.
see,
Are you
that-
being serious?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. No,
I
that's what I
didn't
thought.
know. I didn't know that you were gonna pray to Venexus. I mean, I'm sorry, to Sister Cinder to
How
save you.
dare
I
you
didn't know that you were gonna
blasphemy.
do that religion roll, and I thought anybody who's outside the tower at this point in the whole thing will have to fight Venexus.
Cool. I thought it was great. I thought
Yeah.
that he could legitimately
And I
die.
would have killed AWOL if he hadn't been the chosen one,
If AWOL
And
dies,
that was
the
such a
blessed
cool
one.
moment. It was like, I'm trying to
Blessed
think. I
one.
had an image in my head at the time. If anybody can help me with the reference, but like your description of the way that it sort of exploded in her hand and rocked her head back, I was just, and then had to fly off. It reminded me of something like some big, it's like big monster movie or something like.
Like
Anyway.
Cloverfield. It's Cloverfield. There when
Yeah, it's
the,
like a
the nuke goes
Cloverfield
off.
style,
and it
like
goes like-
explosion, and just like knocks his face back.
Yeah.
That was awesome. So great choice, very cinematic, loved it. And
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
when you're the
Cloverfield
blessed
starring
one,
our
you
own
can do
Rob
things like that.
Kirkovich, by the way.
Oh, really? Is he
Rob
in that?
is in that?
He's in it. He's in like the party scene at the beginning.
Oh,
Stop.
cool.
How cool. I had no idea.
That's
Interesting.
awesome.
And maybe I am thinking of King.
I'm in
Kong.
13 Cloverfield Lane. You know the guy that captures
No.
I thought that
the
was
main girl?
John
Hush.
Goodman. I thought.
No, that's me.
Oh, that was you.
Oh,
Wow.
That's me. Yeah.
Mhm.
I looked like John Goodman
Mhm.
at the time. Yeah, but
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Wow.
Is it
I also
messed
directed it.
up?
Oh, wow.
I also directed it, yeah. Is it messed up that there's a small part of me that hopes AWOL dies before him and Yelka ever get together? Think about the character
what the fuck?
emotion I could mine from
What the
that.
fuck?
You're fucked up.
That's some fucked
you
up
are-
shit.
That's truly twisted, Paula.
You're fucked
Imagine,
up.
imagine if I just said that about you.
Jigsaw. Jigsaw.
I feel
I
like-
really
yeah,
need
I get
something to
it.
help
I get it.
AWOL's emotion,
but
interesting
just think
story
about-
development.
Think about the goodbye we could have, the last moments, the final, the kiss finally happening as you take your last breath. I mean,
How about you
that's
take your
good
last
shit.
breath?
Paula, I've come around. I love this pitch. Let me just kill AWOL.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
No.
I think it'll be pretty easy.
I mean,
if
or
you
it could be
decide
me
to do it.
dying.
You know, I
Sure.
thought that was going to happen, by the way. I don't know if we talked about this before because this is a
No.
long time ago, but I had it in the back of my head. I was like, oh, I would love to have a really great moment here with Yelka during the tree encounter because I thought he was going to die in that encounter.
Yeah.
That encounter was really, really bad. He was down. He was unconscious, dying too.
That
And-
encounter had a three fires vision, right? Didn't it? Or no?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, you
Yelka-
saw the Arbiter. That's right.
I saw the Arbiter, and
Yes.
Yelka brought him back with with the heal spell and everything. That's when he hugged her really tight after it, like he could feel that she saved his life. That was awesome. I loved that part, and I can't remember feeling he was that close to death since then.
Well,
So
don't
yeah,
forget
let's-
you have that thing Yelka gave AWOL,
Yeah.
the little orb.
Yeah. The Eon
The hell?
Stone.
the Ion Stone. Yeah,
Which is
Oh,
one of
yeah.
my favorite moments between the two characters, which happened right after the holiday party last year. We had already recorded it, but it hadn't happened yet. Is the moment where you're like working on Yelka's birthday present, but it's not done yet, and Yelka comes out and gives the Eon Stone, and that whole interaction is one of my favorite. I think Yelka AWOL.
yeah.
moments.
That was a really good one. I mean, they really do have this. They have this connection too with Olog that sometimes I don't think is played enough. I tend to get a little shy about overplaying my personal characters' emotional story issues, right? But like, I feel like sometimes I check in with myself and I'm like, it sucks for AWOL that Olog is gone as well as Yelka.
That was his
It
best
really
friend.
sucks for him.
Yeah.
Like Herod is not
Why not?
fun.
Why not?
It's like
No,
having your
he's not a
boss there
boy.
all the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
A grown up.
Dad.
It's like all of a sudden you replace like Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds with John Goodman from Revenge of the Nerds,
Right.
the coach.
Yeah. So I was just, God, I miss Olog.
Yeah.
As a character, big
Yeah.
time.
Yelka and Raga have each other, the girls.
Yeah.
Like you guys were the
I
boys.
know. I think I'm like
and-
kind of left alone. It kind of sucks.
I bet he's kind of lonely. Oh, I haven't really thought about that.
Yeah. And so
Okay, well.
that's why he carved that thing, or I shouldn't say carved, I should say sculpted that thing because it was stone to give to Yelka. And, it helps him remember Olog as well. That's why it was a fun project to do over that period of time. Speaking of not feeling like he was going to die, let's talk about how we mashed the final encounter.
Oh,
So-
Ashton Swale was like,
It didn't, like you said, it didn't feel that way the whole time.
I
But
know.
like,
Sorry, Jared.
let me just say,
I'm
from,
disappointed in my own performance. I think that I may have missed an opportunity once or twice. Actually, Joe, I interrupted you. Go ahead and say what you were going to say.
All I was going to say is you already mentioned this before, You already mentioned, how the fight was a little easier than you expected, and it was a little frustrating. And yeah, some rolls went against you and some rolls went for us for sure. But overall, coming at this from the gauntlet perspective, having run a bunch of gauntlets now over the last 2-3 months, I'm realizing that you have to be a way higher level to really threaten people in 2E. Like for a single combatant. For a single combatant to really TPK a party, 1 level higher or 2 level higher than you is just not going to do it unless you had the rolls really don't go your way. I mean, in these encounters, we're doing 3-4 levels higher, and the PCs are still winning.
Well,
So
I think
it's
I still think that's good design, because the idea isn't to kill the party; it's for them to barely get through it, right?
Yeah.
And
agreed, but I think that Venexus could have been a whole level higher, and it still would have worked. I feel like, gut.
And also, Venexus had some bad breaks. Venexus's breath weapon got the longest amount of time to recharge.
Oh, that's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
I feel like
Yeah,
if I had
that'll
been
kill
able
you
to
if
hit
you're
you
a
with
dragon.
that again, you
Yeah.
would have been in trouble.
Somebody would have gone down
Yeah.
at least once.
Yeah,
more.
but I rolled a 4, so it took 4 rounds to reload.
That's a lot of combat for a round.
Yeah.
Let's
That is-
let me pitch some around around the horn here real quick. 'Cause
Is
I
it
do
about
wanna-
is it about Ashen Swale and Venexus?
No, so please, if
Okay,
you have
I
something,
have
on those-
something.
on them, yeah, go ahead.
I want to talk about them because what we haven't talked about really is the lore implications. Ashen Swale was a god caller. Like, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, he called down one of their 12
He's like Denny.
gods. He's like Denny. So
Hmm.
does that mean like Denny could turn into him? Like, how did Ashen Swale turn out so fucking evil if he's a god caller, if he's a Sutaki who like believes in the pantheon? Or did he just like, I don't know, call down some creature and make it look like one of their gods to mock them and make himself into, something that he thought that they would respect? I don't know, but just the lore implications of Ashen Swell being a god caller is kind of blows my mind a little, and we just didn't have time to think about it or talk about it.
Well, listen, they're still in your following. You can still go and talk to Aokoe or anybody who kind of
That's
was
true. Ashen Swale's in there
knowledgeable
with the
about that
rest of
stuff.
them are.
I will say,
Yeah.
no, I won't say anything else. I think that is interesting stuff. Yeah.
It's really interesting, and yeah, that power could it be used for good, could be used for evil. I feel like Ashen Swale. Here's what I don't like about the Ashen Swale thing. If I could criticize for a moment, all the shit that I
Reddit.
all the shit that I love about this book, I do feel like we don't get enough about Ashen Swale's journey.
Why is he evil? Why is he a
Yeah.
necromancer?
The
Why
only,
does he punish just to talk to people?
the only
I think that
extra
happens a lot with
window,
villains,
the only
but-
extra window you got on him, other than hearing his name, was seeing like statues of him, and then like also I think Yelka, didn't you have
I
like
saw
a
him in
vision
a
at that
vision.
cabin?
Yes.
Yeah,
when he
him
killed,
killing someone.
Yeah,
and
the head.
Brutally,
I'm gonna find
like,
it.
Is that because
Brutally.
you used your power, the
Yes,
psychometry?
I did the psychometric resonance.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, had you not done that, you would have had a very little to go on with Ashen Swale. It's true. It's true. The problem with D&D, TTRPG enemies, is that players always kill everything. So it's very
Yeah, we
hard
never
to create.
talk to them.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
never talk to them. So it's very hard to create enemies that can kind of stay around and be present
Well, yeah.
without getting destroyed at the drop of a hat. So
Troy
Yeah.
is really great and very liberal with his use of the Bond villain talk time.
Monologue time.
He does extensive, unrealistic monologues.
Yeah, it's like,
to
why
tell
aren't we
the
just
entire
shooting
story.
at him right now while he's
Oh,
talking
why-
to us?
It doesn't make any sense that we're letting
Why are
this
we standing here letting him
spellcaster talk for one more minute.
Yeah.
I shoot him in the mouth.
It's only
Yeah.
polite.
Right.
Yeah.
But we know the drill.
well, now you see why Ashen Swale is held to the end.
yeah.
Because if you met him before, you guys would have been like, I kill him with my kukri immediately.
Yeah. I
Immediately.
stab him in the mouth instantly.
Well, that's
It
why,
is-
like,
it is
in some of the other, like in Rune Lords, there's opportunities in the story to introduce the players to the big bad without physically meeting them. And so you're able to sort of pepper in these sort of details and everything, get them familiar with this person and make them more scared and hate them more over the course. It's a longer story as well, but like if you can give your players that, I think that helps the sort of
Yes.
personal animus towards the person you're fighting against. But
Yes. Yeah, that vision, which I think is not in the book, I think was my attempt to do that. But yeah, you know, it's so big. I mean, that's the whole thing with Pathfinder. It's so big, and there's so much of it.
Yeah.
That you know, you never really get it all. But that's sort of a feature, not a bug, I guess. You know, it's kind of cool that it's
all
like
right,
that.
I don't want to go too much longer, so I'd love to fire a few questions around the horn here, and then I want to get into a couple predictions, and we'll get out. So
Ooh,
first, I'd like to ask Mary Lou. I'll start with Raga, who I adore.
Me too. My girl.
Up through the finale, the book of season 2, up through the finale of the story. How do you think? How has Raga changed since before Calamity Cave to the end of the Venexus fight as a character for you?
Oof. Well, I think she thought that she was responsible. And she thought that she was a caretaker. She's Baba's guardian. And then somebody under her care died. And it was pretty directly her fault.
It's not.
I know.
No,
but
it is. Let's be honest.
It is.
No,
It is.
not
And-
Raga's fault. It is Olog's fault.
But
That's
also, his fault he died.
The fault lies with the poisoned. Always.
Always.
You shouldn't have ate
Always.
that. You shouldn't have drank that.
Hashtag
Like,
blame
that's-
the victim. Always.
Not only did she make the poison salad, at any time I could have prepared Cleanse Affliction and didn't, because I didn't know enough. And
None of us
So
thought.
Okay, so
none of
that
us thought
is
that he would die, though.
to be fair,
Yeah.
yes, no,
that's
nobody
obviously
thought.
that's obviously a major moment in book 2. So what does that mean for her, for Raga, who has to endure? Like what? How does that change her?
I think she's fundamentally optimistic, right? But I think that was like the first time that like things really, really didn't work out and we could not fix it. And so she's like tasted failure and grief and responsibility. And I think it's made her more cautious, but also more like ferocious in defense of her herd, of her flock, of her people. So that's the tip of the spear, but also the following at large. I think she's not as trusting as maybe she once was of other people, but also like of the future, and that things will work out.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah,
But
I think
understandable for sure.
Yeah.
What about Herod? How has he developed since we met him at the campfire? What do you think is different about him now, Skid?
I think he's just sort of.
Besides him being the bearer of the frozen flame.
Yes,
think that's a big thing.
beautiful and as terrible as the sea.
Who like no one would have expected 6 months ago.
No, I think he's just sort of slowly. This isn't something he wanted. I think he was carrying. It's interesting. Like Raga, I think that's an important event for a character's maturation process, is experiencing a failure, like carrying around guilt from a perceived failure like that. And that's something that Herod has gone through already. And that is something that's been weighing him down for decades now. And so now he's in the process of trying to grow past that. And so he's sort of trying to rediscover those things that did make him useful and a positive force.
Yeah.
As reluctant as he is to make another mistake like that, he doesn't want to be in charge, especially like these young kids. Like this group is like it's full
That's gotta
of
be so triggering.
yeah, it's because like that's who he was commanding mostly, like when during the war. So it was people of that similar age, and so it's him. It's kind of to bring up Die Hard again. It's learning to use his sidearm again after accidentally killing a child.
Yeah, I think that for Herod, to me, also let's not forget the muscle memory that Herod has there, because you were amazing in the tower defense fight, leading the
warfare
army
lore for the win.
Yeah,
warfare lore, the most valuable lore ever created. Man, that lore is
Awesome.
insane.
Yeah, herbalism lore has come up once.
Yeah.
Warfare lore we use all the time.
To quote Waterslet again, glimpse of redemption. Yeah, you guys don't see it because it's audio only, but every single time Skid goes, glimpse of redemption.
It's so good. I love it. It's so good.
And I get it. I'm surprised every time.
Me too.
I
can't believe I'm so surprised every single time.
Never
It surprises me every time. Yes.
Oh,
And
man.
we're like, Jared's like, no.
It's the same feeling as being able to just like kick someone in the nuts like over and over again. It's so fun.
It's so
Oh my
awesome.
god, that's so good. All right, what about Yelka? How has Yelka changed in book 2?
Well, I think the biggest thing in book 2 is the first time Yelka started dabbling in necromancy was in book 2.
Yup.
Dark Yelka.
And there
Dark
are
Yelka.
moments where she has lied about it. Like I have in my notes somewhere like that. Maybe Nocta. She like straight, like legit lies to Nocta about dabbling and things like that.
Oh yeah,
And
when you were
then-
looking through the library in the town.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then I have this moment. It's never come up again, but I wrote it down because I was like, why did I do that? Why did I feel like I needed to lie about it? And so I think this idea of like, is this okay or not okay, is a big part of how Yelka has changed and grown in book 2. Obviously, she lost her brother, which is part of that. I don't know. I think she thinks she's grown up a lot. She had a birthday. I think she feels like at some point her and AWOL are gonna like, this is just a matter of time. I think she feels pretty confident in like that situation. I don't know. I think she's grown in
AWOL
confidence.
doesn't even know
Yeah.
there's a situation.
AWOL's like, I'm sorry, what's going on? Yeah, I think
What a
like
bimbo.
he's such a himbo. Yeah, I think our biggest thing is dabbling in this dark stuff and trying to figure out like, is this worth pursuing? And
Are
if I
you-
pursue it, am I bad? Or can I use this for
as
good?
a player,
Mhm.
do you have any plans for this? Or are you just taking it one session at a time?
You mean the necromancy?
Yeah, do you I mean, you don't have to say what it is, but do you have a plan like, oh, I want to have a dark Yelka, or I want to have eventually a Yelka that shuns the darkness, like, or do you just play session to session and not think about it?
I think part of it is me trying to let Yelka discover it as we go. I think how I feel about it right now is that Yelka, at least, is convinced that she's doing it with good intentions. That this is a dark power that can be used for good. And it might be interesting if there comes a point where there are more negative repercussions for her, or she feels like that's not true. But I don't know. And I have new spells that I've taken that people haven't seen yet that lean more into necromancy. But yeah, I don't know. And so I guess I'm kind of taking it session by session and seeing what happens.
I think that's cool. I mean,
makes
like
sense.
Joe's
Yeah.
saying, do you have a plan? You want to get her to this place, but you're saying, I just kind of take it as it comes, which I think is a good way
Yeah,
handle
Yeah.
to,
these.
to
I think-
quote our good friend John Harper, I believe it is, in Blades, play to find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play to
I
find
think
out.
Yelka doesn't think she is going to ever be a dark. Yelka doesn't believe she's going to ever be a dark version of herself. That doesn't mean it won't happen. And that's kind of how I'm playing it, if that makes sense at all.
You know what
course it
can
makes
really, I mean, there's something coming up that can really sort of play with the moral axes of the characters and where they ultimately end up, and it's the struggle against.
All right, let's just move on to our final section.
He couldn't even get it out.
He doesn't
He couldn't
have-
even get it out.
You
I
can't
need
have a
someone to do
single
fan art.
sincere
I need fan
moment.
art of the
The
Crockinator.
Crockinator!
Fan art, please.
Ah!
Greatest foe you've ever faced.
Dude, Jared, you are the
Crockinator
equivalent
art.
if you went to like a Sundance premiere of some film and then there was a talk back with the cast. You are like the personification of the drunk celebrity who's like not present and making a joke out of every single question tossed to him.
God,
Just keep yelling out,
funny.
Crockinator.
I just loved how you couldn't even say it.
Okay, wait.
But
how
what
is
about you, Joe?
AWOL? Yeah,
Yeah.
how was AWOL grown or changed in book 2?
Yeah.
AWOL is I think that he's feeling more like I think he feels more this draw toward, even though it's probably years down the line, he feels more this draw toward being a Mammoth Lord. Like I think that
can
there's
see
a
that.
path for the young people in our following, and he wants to be on the path to a Mammoth Lord. And to him, that's not like I don't know the way I would think about it, Joe, as like a political thing, right? Like, you got to make the right friends. You got to be, you got to make everybody like you. It's more about, defending the following, combat prowess, focusing on the threats, making allies, you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. And I feel like lately he's been getting more stepping into that leadership role a little bit more. And part of that I think is just straight, and there's a mechanical aspect to it and a die rolling aspect to it. I think that he's really started to get a lot stronger than he was. And that, even though it's purely mechanical, to me as a character, it feels like he can kick some ass way more than he used to. And I think that's changing the character and not making him evil or anything, but making him confident in the face of, strong enemies, where he used to just be like kind of a kid. I feel like now he's starting to really become a man, for lack of a better term, but in that respect, like a soldier. And then the only other thing is that, on the Yelka front, I agree that he is.
Is he completely clueless, or is he
No,
like
no.
in
He's not. He
denial?
can't be.
He's not.
enough
He's
moments. I
he's
don't think
neither.
He's clueless.
He's neither. I think that he feels very strongly about Yelka, but he has serious reservations about how she feels. Not necessarily sure,
Okay.
but then more importantly, not like focusing on these horrible things that are right in front of us always like ends up taking precedent. And I think that he keeps kind of kicking the can down the road, for lack of a better term. And it's sad, but like he doesn't want to mix up anybody's mind in this time right now. And that I think is another part of that aspect of staying focused, right?
Shaka when the walls fell said, I would also feel awkward about dating my dead best friend's sister.
Jesus. Oh, that's some dark shit.
They've trauma bonded though.
Yes, they have trauma bonded. All right, let's get
that's just
to
good drama. That's just good
Yes,
Oh,
Tale of
entertainment
the
right
good.
there.
Yeah.
Let's get to some predictions. Let's start simple. Length of book 3 in episodes. Paula. Book 1 was 52 episodes. Book 2 was 92 episodes. Give me an episode number for book 3.
I think roughly 52 again. I think this time next year we will be wrapping it up.
Mary Lou?
71.
71.
So somewhere in between.
That's almost exactly my answer. Skid.
40.
Okay. $1.
We're gonna do it in
Yeah,
12.
The old $1. Oh man, 71 was kind of right where I wanted to be. I'll give you that on the high end, and I'll say 65 episodes. Okay, let's get a little dark. No, let's not get dark. Who is the big bad of the whole campaign? Mary Lou.
Varsa. Sorry.
Ivarsa as possessed by the demon Medoak.
Okay.
Or the demon that is like responsible for Medoak.
By the way, how do you spell Medoak?
Metowak.
No.
Oh, okay.
Metuak.
I've done it right.
Oh, that's
This
good.
is the one
That
name
looks
I've
much
ever
more
spelled right.
palette or
And Crocinator is spelled
oh,
C-R-O.
all right.
And Gucci is spelled Gooch.
Croconator.
Mhm.
Skid, who's the big bad?
Yelka.
Love
I think it's
it.
like it's
that happens in good home games. That
yeah,
happens.
and like fucking Dragonlance. It's like wrestling.
Yeah,
I think,
wrestling.
you know,
Yeah.
she's on that sort of path, I think.
Right after
Oh.
AWOL finally
great
confesses
idea.
his love, Yelka reveals herself to have been Ivarsa all along.
I mean, if Yelka does go dark, that's a total Jon Snow Daenerys romance.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And we all know how we feel about Daenerys now. So
Now we know how we feel about the end of that show, which is I loved it.
Shut up.
I did like
Uh,
it. I liked it. I'm one of the people that liked it.
I think the ending is fine. How they got there was bad. Does that make sense?
speaking of Game of Thrones,
Okay.
I'd like to pitch I just wrote this in the Discord the other day when I wanted to tell people about this live stream. We don't have a name for huge fans of Blood of the Wild. And so I wrote in Discord, just kind of came out. What about Blood of the Wildlings?
Oh yeah.
Hey!
Name
Blood of
yourself.
the Wildlings. Yeah,
Blood of the
Wildlings.
Wildlings. Those
Or just
that-
wildlings
cute.
for short.
Just
Or just
Wildlings.
Wildlings for
Yeah.
short.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay.
Love it.
Book 3. If there is a character death, who's the first to die in book 3?
Well, it's going to be AWOL so that we can give Yelka all that
you.
emotional
The proper
Thank you.
story.
Yeah.
fuel.
AWOL.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. AWOL.
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 I will say
Yeah.
Yelka's kind of squishy, so
or Yelka.
it could
Yelka
be
is
Yelka.
pretty squishy.
I mean, you know.
But see, I think AWOL would do whatever he could to like sacrifice himself in Yelka's place. So even if it was Yelka, I feel like he'd be like, "Take me instead." I don't know.
Skid, do you have any thoughts on this?
I don't think there'll be any more deaths.
Okay.
I don't think there will be
Skid
either.
bet
Yeah.
0.
Okay.
I
Okay.
consider that a challenge.
All right.
TJ on YouTube says it'll be Matthew's character, even though he's not even in the campaign.
yeah, probably. I'll go AWOL as well, just because, I think of these things mostly mechanically, but he's a frontline, non-heavily armored ranger. And he also is like the scout, like usually the lead scout, and those people get in trouble. They get in sudden trouble very fast.
Yeah.
But
It does
he's
get
survived
harder
so
to
far.
kill PCs the higher level you get.
It's really hard. It is really hard
Yeah.
to especially with bottle caps every episode. It's
Yeah.
very,
Yeah.
very hard to kill a PC.
That's
But
why I'm
it-
announcing today, no more
No
bottle
more
cap.
bottle
No.
Oh,
From
It's
here
done.
on
It's
out.
over.
that'll go well.
This is the will of the Crocinator. All bottle caps have been
Well, that's what
removed.
happens when you get into the books with Crocinator is he casts a spell
That
that
eliminates
eliminates
all
fortune.
fortune.
Bottle
Yeah.
cap siphon.
That eliminates heroism.
All heroism.
It's why you got
Gone,
to
it's
stop
done.
him.
God, that's so good.
He's bad. That's evil. We gotta
That's
get
very
it.
Is the
evil,
Crocinator just Troy? Is
I think
that-
it is.
No.
Quite
He has a
possible.
baseball cap.
Just a
He's
slightly
from Boston.
All right. Last question. This is kind of a simple yes or no. Just be honest. Be truly honest with us here. Do you have in the back of your mind, kicking around anywhere, a backup character currently?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
But we shouldn't
Not
say
gonna
them,
ask any
right?
I
details.
actually have
I'll say
two- I have
no.
two backup
I have no backup character planned because AWOL's going to live forever. Skid?
No, no.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So you guys both have a concept out there. That's interesting. That's cool.
I
I've had it
I have
for
a-
a long time.
And it would
I have
still
a-
work in
I
this
think
like
it would. I think it would still work. Sorry, Mary Lou, what were you
sometimes backup characters
no.
don't age well, right? As the campaign
I've
changes.
wondered if this one would, but I think they still would.
I have a plan for if Raga dies and if Baba dies.
Yeah.
Can't ever die. That's
That's a tough
animal
one.
cruelty.
For the record, cannot happen. I will kill myself
Yeah.
before I let Raga or Baba die. Okay. I
Just
wanna
so
be
you
very
guys
clear.
know, the third book is really Leshies have an advantage in it.
Okay.
If you're a Leshy, there are a lot of things you can do in Access that other types of characters could not.
Perfect, because
So-
that's part of my backup character.
Not
Just
worth
keep
it.
that in mind. That Leshies equal great.
Okay.
Got it.
Got it. Got it. Thank
Good
you
to
for
know.
letting us know.
Got it.
I don't have anything else categories wise ideas for predictions. Does anybody else have any prediction ideas? Like, I mean, you kind of get to a point where it's lame to overguess too much. But yeah, big, bad, and length of episodes I think are the more fun ones. But I really can't think of anything else.
Number of times Jared and Joe fight during the episode.
Yeah, will we still be friends at the end of book 3?
Yes.
I mean, I think I am trying to. A personal goal of mine is to never be cantankerous, which is a very generous way of saying when I snap at players over some rules thing or something like that. But anyway, I love playing with Joe O'Brien. That's all.
Yeah, I love playing with Jared. It's
For
wonderful.
people just listening, I did put fights in heavy air quotes if you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Heavy air quotes for the listeners. Okay, I'm gonna say something. This is live. These are our friends, right?
Yeah.
We have an episode coming up that I just edited, and I had to edit out Jared being so mad that I asked when something happened in the history of the narrative world. He was so mad, and he said he was like, of course.
To be fair,
He was
You
like, I
care
told
about
you.
this
you had just told us
doesn't
not
matter.
to do that, and then you
Yeah.
did it.
I know, and I thought, and he did say, like, don't ask, it doesn't matter. And then I
did.
asked, and I
I was with
wasn't
him.
trying to push this, but I thought it was a relevant and not that complicated thing.
I was with
and he
you.
was like, you literally just did what I asked you not to do.
Right.
It was
Okay.
very
So,
funny.
so what I was really the reason I was getting all cantankerous on that is like it's probably like my own insecurity because the thing about it is like these games with these storylines have like timelines, but it's
Yeah.
very hard to memorize all of them. You know,
Yeah.
and
100%.
they almost never really matter, right?
And there's no
Yeah.
quick way to look some of the stuff up.
Have
Right.
the timeline written down.
If I look
Yeah.
something up in the book while my players are there, every word I read is nonsense. Like I can't
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
read
Exactly.
anything.
Cannot
I
read.
read and nothing comes out of it. I can't
Mm-mm.
explain it.
and
but
and
like,
I'll just say that happens. One of the reasons I was like blowing my top over it is that happens in games I run all the time. It's just, and I think it's a natural logic for a person who's learning about a situation to go, wait, what time, what day, how long has it been?
In what order?
But in a story,
Sequence
it
of events.
kind of doesn't matter. And if we get into the weeds on it, the story suffers. I swear to God. Like,
Yeah.
that's why movies just go, that scene ended. Now it's days later. Keep up. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
they don't
yeah, I know
establish,
what you mean.
movies
And-
don't establish a timeline,
yeah.
you know?
But so
Mhm.
anyway, when you guys hear this episode, you're gonna hear something along the lines of, I ask when something happens, Jared gives the answer.
Just know.
1 minute
Fill
later,
in the- fill
Mary
in.
Lou asks when something happens, and Jared goes, "It doesn't matter." It seems to be out of nowhere.
It probably sounds like he's just being such a bitch to
Like,
me,
what
but
did
no,
you
he
react that way?
suffered. He
There was
suffered.
no way to like cut around it. So
And
anyway,
we
you're gonna hear
did
that.
say, hey, just let us know when we ask something like this that
No.
it's not important. Just answer it's
Yeah.
not
But
important.
Mary
if
Lou
it's not
quite
important.
blamelessly was just playing her character, and
Yeah.
Raga just happened to ask what is always a logical question. When did these things occur? It's just how our brains work.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean, if it sounds like I snapped at Mary Lou, I'm sorry for
deserved it.
sounding
It
that
really
way.
was a build-up originally
Yeah.
It
started
was
by
so
Joe. We
funny.
shouldn't
And then,
discuss it.
instantly we were like, oh my God, you're right. I'm sorry. I know that was.
You're like, I did it
Oh,
again. I
did
did it again.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
it
the
was so
skid
funny,
was
though.
also sympathizing with you from the GM
Yes.
chair, mainly because he's like, the way these things are written, like the most frustrating part is that you read it.
Right.
Like it was in
Right.
there.
There is information
And
about
the
this
answer
somewhere.
is there, but you have no idea where to find it.
It
You
could
don't
be anywhere.
remember.
It could be any number of
be anywhere.
places
Yeah.
in the text, and like
There
you-
is. So when I ran Impossible Landscape Skid, which you've read it now, right? Like
Yeah.
you cracked the book at least. Did you see the timeline in the beginning? There's like a 9 or 10 page, 12-point font, full pages timeline
I don't remember that.
goes from like 1450 to like 1994
Oh shit! No.
Wow.
of like all these events that occurred, and it's like it's so intimidating. It is
That's cool.
so incredibly intimidating. But yeah, I also
But
like
that's
Skid's
at
point
least
on that,
something
which
else.
was
Like
like
that happens in our own universe, like our own like earthly conception of time. Whereas in like something like Pathfinder, there's an entirely different calendar. There's this like what year is now? It's like there's all this other stuff.
right, and also just the sheer ability to like manipulate time or go through portals through time or magically be in one place then another instantly. Like you have so many leeways to just hand wave like before, or it doesn't matter. Like you don't have to explain everything with the.
I think you
within
just
the
have to
physics.
have it's like some of my history teacher when my sister teacher told us like you don't need to know exact dates, just a sort of a general sequence of events.
Right.
Yes, that's
in
what you
relation
said in the
to each
episode.
other.
I can't remember if that made it into the editor, if that was during the downtime. But yeah, you were basically like, my history teacher was like, I don't care about the exact dates, but the
I
sequence.
do want to know sequence,
What happened
'cause
before
that
what?
feels like a lot of times in these games they'll need us to know that, or like that'll be a hint or a clue somehow, or
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
feels like it would be. So if
Mhm.
if I don't figure it out, then I'm leaving something a clue on the
Yes.
table.
Right.
when
Yeah,
really
I
it's-
feel that way.
I mean,
Right.
Probably
it's this
doesn't matter.
wild thing with role-playing games and GMing, and I wish I could remember the terminology because there were some very smart people talking about this, but how, if you mention that there's a lamp on the table, there's a good chance that the player might be like, whoa, what's this lamp? I pick up the lamp. I shake the lamp, and
Right.
it's just like, when I tell you, hey, in the past, this thing happened, you're kind of like, whoa. Okay,
You're
What does that
saying it
mean?
I need
for
to know
a
everything
reason.
about it.
When did it happen? How long
There's
did it
something
last?
Right,
What was-
important.
exactly.
You wouldn't just
yeah.
mention this willy-nilly. You're not
Mhm.
just saying this for no reason. You're telling me because I need to pay attention to it.
It's also
Yeah.
so hard.
Like today, the founder.
It's also so hard as a GM to just like say, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't. It's not an option.
No.
Because as soon as you do, even if you don't know, and even if it doesn't matter, it suddenly becomes like, oh, well, that was clearly something that didn't matter in the story at all. And then, players jump to all these, maybe the pendulum swings too far the other way. They're like,
Which
oh,
is
this
why-
whole line, it doesn't matter. It's like,
Which is why the thing you need most as a GM is to already be a person who thinks they know everything. If you
Yeah.
go in, if
helps.
that's your attitude through life, you will do well in GMing.
Perfect.
you'll do well in
I
job
will say-
interviews and GMing.
If I ever ask a question and a GM has to go, let me look it up. I'm like, I don't need to know the answer anymore. It's
I don't need to
obviously not important.
It's
It's
not
not
a
in
big
your
tell,
notes.
right?
Like,
I
Yeah.
don't care. Yep.
If this
If you
isn't
have to
top
look
of
it up,
mind, then
don't bother.
Yeah.
I've definitely had moments where I'm GMing and someone asks a question I don't know the answer to, and I fucking freeze. Like it malfunctions my brain. It happens sometimes.
agreed.
It's part of the fun.
Yeah.
Well, we are about to set off on season 3. It starts next week, October 13th. You're going to see season 3
Get
coming
excited,
out
y'all.
as we jump right into the next book. We've got
It's already so good.
It's awesome. I'm so
lots of fun stuff coming up on the GCN, including more gauntlets coming. Session 0 of our new campaign airs on October 23rd.
That's
And
exciting.
that was a really fun and chunky session 0. Really fun.
That's
And
cool.
then the premiere is October 30th of the first one. So you'll be able to see that on YouTube. and then and obviously podcasts as well. And then we were talking about it earlier, right before we went live, and we plan to be back for another Blood of the Wild holiday party. This was a little teaser. A little teaser for Blood of the Wild holiday party. We'll bring back the Mammies. We'll give out awards for all kinds of, best NPC of the year. Best,
or as Skid calls them, the Mammaries.
That's right. He does call them that.
And we all said, stop saying it like
I
that.
insist on it.
Stop doing that. Anyway, wonderful season 2. Jared, a round of applause for Jared.
Yay.
Ladies and gentlemen, a spectacular adventure. And
no, you guys have been,
great.
you guys have, we're all writing it together. It's awesome.
And
It's
that
pretty cool.
is where we'll end this episode. So thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week with the premiere. Great. Very exciting.
Do it, Mary.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, everybody. Good night.
Bye.